What is manifesting? To put it simply, it's wanting or desiring something and getting it. Are you good at that? Well, I've heard there's a few different methods and strategies for it. Now, do they work? Well, let's have a look. Manifesting. Are you good at it? Hey, if you are, why don't you comment down below and tell me how you get about it, what you do, and what you've conjured up, so to speak. And don't forget, if you like this episode, click the like button, and don't forget to subscribe and click the bell as well. Now, manifesting. Some people are good at it. Some people just keep trying and nothing happens. Maybe they don't believe. Well, now this is an episode I've been wanting to present for a while now, because it seems like there are different people with different methods of manifesting or presenting the law of attraction or the secret. There's so many terms for it as well. And there are people that are really quite good at it. Maybe they're lucky. But there's a lot of people that put it out there and they attract it and they get it. My method is a bit of a hit and miss for me personally, but maybe it's because I'm missing the key ingredient. Now, what is the key ingredient? Now, I think the key ingredient is our vibrations and energies, our vibrational and energy level. If you're on a high vibration, which means that you're feeling good and everything's going well, that's when you're more in command of attracting the things that you want. Now, have you noticed with people that, some call them lucky, but that are good at manifesting, and have you noticed the people that they try and they just can't get what they want? Have you noticed what sort of people they are? Now, someone who needs money to pay the bills, so to speak, which is quite a common thing, something I'm sure we can all relate to. I definitely can. They're in a different vibrational state. They're desperate, they're needy, they're wanting just so they can survive, which is fair enough, compared to the other person who would like some extra money because they would love to go on this holiday, have this trip away. And they're on a different vibrational state because they don't actually need the money. In fact, they're probably just getting by, but they could do with the extra money so they could go on a holiday. Now, if you look at these two, they are on a different emotional level, different energy levels, different vibrational levels. One is in a desperate mode. One is in an all right mode, comfortable mode. And because you're on a comfortable mode, your vibration is actually vibrating at a higher level. And when your vibrations are at a higher level, you seem to be able to attract things to you more easily. So it's looking at it, to be able to manifest things, you have to be on a higher level, a higher vibrational level. Now, some of you might remember Orson Welles, the famous actor, director in Hollywood, in the classic ages of Hollywood. Now, the first time he saw Rita Hayworth, who was another famous actress at that time, the first time he saw her, he said, "I'm going to marry that girl." And he did. And he'd never seen her before, never met her. And he managed to manifest that desire. So it does happen. Maybe he was at a comfortable stage in his life, a higher vibration, and able to attract something like that. Now, getting back to actually manifesting, I hear there are so many different strategies. People have different methods that they use, and they say it works, so it must work. Now, some people use a vision board. You know, that board that you put on it everything you want, like the house, the car, to have the perfect body, to have the perfect partner, to go on holidays and trips, first class. It's a common thing to have the vision board. And they say to make it work, you've got to have it in a place where you can see it every day, all the time. And some people even say you have to write things down, like, I am wealthy, I have abundance, I have my dream house, affirmations. And they say you have to do that every day, all the time. Keep writing it down. Now, I don't know about you. Lots of people say this works, and I'm not saying it doesn't. I've done it as well. And I think that also triggers something as well, which helps. But I've noticed with my method, every time I've manifested something was when I wasn't even thinking about it. But my philosophy is put it out there and forget about it. Easier said than done, especially when you need it, when you're in desperate mode, like the money to pay the bills. And that's probably not the best time to do it, because you're in desperate mode, which, according to the Abraham Hicks philosophy, you're in a lacking mode. You don't have it, you lack it, and you're in that mode, and you're putting more of that out there, which is a bit of the wrong sort of vibration you're putting out there. So I have a little bit of a different way to get around that. In fact, very similar to Abraham Hicks. Abraham Hicks usually say to meditate or go to sleep or do something else just to get out of that vibrational state. And that works. And my philosophy is put it out there and forget about it. In fact, a good example of that is that it's a very common story that you hear at self-development seminars and wealth building seminars of using the vision board, of someone that's packing up his place because he's moving house, and he comes across a box, and he's going through the box, and he comes across his vision board. Now he's looking at his vision board, and he sees the house, he sees the car, he sees his partner, he sees the holidays he's been on, all those sort of things that you want to manifest. And he realizes, I've achieved all of them. I've got everything I've put on this vision board. I've manifested it. And he's forgotten about that, and it's only now that he's realized. And it's a bit of an aha moment, you could say. But he forgot about it. And it's only now he's been reminded, my gosh, I have got that house. I have got the car. I've got my perfect partner. And it's all happened. Now he's just realized that, which goes to show that he wasn't thinking about it. He'd forgotten about it. He'd let it go. And they, you could say, turned up, just turned up. And that's where my philosophy is put it out there and forget about it and let it just turn up. Because in a way, when I've had my manifestations, that's exactly what happened. Because I'm thinking back and think, oh my God, I wanted that. and I've got it. It's a bit like an experience I had a few years ago. There's some work that I need to do overseas, and I need some work to finalize and tie up, you could say. And I thought, oh, it'd be nice to go at this time of the year. And I actually had a look online and looked at the flights and the accommodation and see how much it would cost. And even I made plans so I could catch that flight and I could arrive there and I could go back through this place. And I was just thinking about the cost of it, and to do what I wanted to do, I couldn't really justify spending the money to actually go and do it. And so I actually put it out of my head. It'd be nice, but you know, it's a luxury, you could say. And so I just put it out of my hand and forgot about it. And then, as the time got closer, a family member got in contact and said they were getting married. Now, I'm close to family, so it's an important thing, someone getting married. And I thought, oh, wow. You know, I could fly over there. I could do the things I want to do, and I could attend the wedding. And that justifies me borrowing the money to spend on this trip. And so I did. And there you are. That was my manifested trip. I went there, did what I had to do, and I also went to the wedding. And it was only a couple of weeks from the time that I actually had planned on going if I had the money. So that came when I wasn't even forcing or concentrating on it or pursuing that thought so much. In fact, I let that whole thought go because I thought it was an impossibility that I would have been able to achieve that. So that was an interesting concept to think of. And another example that I will give of putting it out there and forget about it. In fact, these things are things that's why you've got to be careful what you think about, because it could be just a slight thought and you can manifest it. Which is, you could look on the darker side, why people get sick and not realize it. And that's another video, because that comes into not liking yourself, not thinking yourself worthy, and so punishing yourself, so to speak, without realizing it, that you want harm done to yourself. And people just don't realize it. But that's, in a way, why they attract negative things to them without thinking about it. But that's another video. And let's get on to the basics of manifesting. Now, another example for me was I used to work at night, and I'd go home on the tram, and I'll get off at the tram stop and walk a few blocks home. And on the way home, on the corner road, there was this huge house. One of those big houses that you'd see in the movies. Not too big, it wasn't a big mansion, it was just a nice big house. And there was an attic floor, an attic window. And I'd be getting home around midnight or just after midnight, and walk down the road, and people would be asleep. And I'd go past this house, and there was always the attic window that would be open. I thought, how interesting. And you could see the light coming out. And on the back wall, there was actually a poster on the back wall. You could just get a glimpse, which made it look like a guy was living in that room. Not a girl. It was a guy's room. And I thought, In fact, for some reason, there was some fascination with that room at the top of the house. And you kept looking up there every time I'd walk home. And even one night, actually, I think I was walking home early one evening. It was twilight. It was just getting dark. Very unusual time for me to walk home when I work at night. But I saw someone in a four-wheel drive driving off the front lawn driving off. I thought, oh my God, that must be the guy that lives in it. I wanted to have a look who it was. And I couldn't really see who it was. I just saw the car driving off. I thought, Well, anyway, that was that house on the corner with the light at the top. And I always wondered, oh, who is it that lives in that room? And why am I fascinated? It'd be interesting to meet that guy. Now, who lives in that sort of house? So, anyway, time went on. I moved away. I moved quite a bit at that time, actually. And a few years later, I moved into a flat, into this guy's flat. And it was like probably in the first week, we were sitting there chatting, getting to know each other. And he said, oh, I used to live quite close to where I lived. And he said he used to live with his aunt in this big house on the corner. I thought, oh, that sounds very familiar. And he used to have the top floor, the attic. And he was the guy that lived in that house. That was his aunt's house, and that's where he was living, on the top floor in the attic. And I moved into the same flat that he was now living in. I wanted to meet the guy that was living in that top floor attic room, just to see what he was like. And I moved into the flat with that guy. I thought, whoa, this is really, really strange, coincidental. But it was just so strange that these coincidences happened, that in this city, I moved actually into the same flat that this guy had moved into. So I got to know him, and I suppose that was my manifestation, to meet the guy, because we weren't actually there for that long in that flat, because things came up. He broke up with his girlfriend, and he was leaving the flat, and I didn't want to take the flat over, so we were only there for about a month, and then we went our own ways, and I have never seen that guy again. But I just thought I wanted it, and I manifested it without even thinking about it. What are your thoughts on that idea? Write it down in the comments below, and let me know what you think. Now, getting back to my method of manifesting, you have to be in a good state. That's actually probably why, when you're in a desperate mode, needing the money to pay the bills, it just doesn't happen, because your vibration, you're in a state of lack, for one. Two, your vibration is at a lower state. And these things just doesn't happen when you're vibrating at a lower state. So you've got to raise the vibration. And you can, again, as Abraham Hicks says, you've got to be in a higher vibration. You've got to raise the vibration. And you can tell by how you feel. If you're feeling good, if you're feeling happy, you're in a higher vibration. Music can help you raise your vibration, so maybe use music to raise your vibrations as well. Now, when you need the money to pay for the bills, and this is like you haven't got the money, you have to find the money, it can cause you to feel in a state of desperation, a state of lack, needing. It's not a good place to be. Some people actually get into anxieties, and your vibrational levels are low, and that doesn't help in manifesting. That's why the person who wants a trip away, and it doesn't matter if it gets it or not, usually gets it, because they're vibrating at a different level, a higher level, that can attract the manifestations. Now, if you are in that desperate state, try and get out of it. Easier said than done. Basically, you need to change your vibrational level, and some of the good ways to do that is actually to go out, mix with friends, go out and meet new friends, new people, and go to a movie or something, just to change your feelings. Because if you're in that desperate state, you're obviously feeling down, and what you need to do is to raise the vibrational level. And when you're feeling good, when you're feeling happy, your vibration is actually vibrating at a higher state. And that's when things start to happen and you attract good stuff. Now, my method is put it out there and forget about it. That's it in 2 sentences. But the method would be say what you want or think what you want. In fact, the things that I've manifested is just thoughts that have gone through my mind. So think of what it is you want and then maybe put a time limit. And you can be specific if you want. It might help, actually. I've never really been that specific, really, but I've got things. And it does help to be specific because I've got things and I thought I wasn't specific, and this is what I got. So, as I was saying, put it out there and then go read a book. That's my best advice. And read a good book, a fictional book or a biographical book with good characters in it. And at the end of the book, your situation would have changed. And that's why you can put it out there and say, by the end of this book, I will have manifested what I want. And just forget about it. Don't even think about what you want. Just enjoy the book. Forget about everything else. And if you can't read a book, maybe see a movie. But a book is good because it goes over a period of time. And you get so involved in the book, in the characters, that you are in a different state of mind by the time you finish the book. And you've probably forgotten about what you wanted to manifest. And that is when it appears. Why don't you try it and let me know how it goes? You'll definitely feel better at the end of the book because I've done it before. And I remember I've been in one state of mind when I started the book, and when I finished it, I've been in a different state, and those problems that were hanging over me was gone and was in a different place. I hope that helps. And as I've said, yeah, comment below and let me know if you've manifested anything, what was your method, and if you try this method, let me know how it was, and if you manifested what you wanted, or even if you just felt in a better state afterwards. And as I've said, please like the video and share the video with your friends and see what you think, see what they think. And please subscribe as well if you haven't subscribed as yet, or if it's your first time, please subscribe, help to grow the channel. That's one of my desires, is that we can actually build this channel and make it a community and look at the unexplained together. And click the bell. Subscribe and click the bell so you will be notified every time I release a new video. So on that note, that's just a little insight to what I do. And yeah, put it out there, forget about it, and make sure that you're on a high vibrational level. So just make sure that you're in a good state, you're feeling good, you love yourself, and you're happy, and the world's a nice place. I know, easier said than done sometimes, but take it to the next step. If you're not, try and clear your mind by distracting it by talking to someone who's uplifting, see a movie, go out, meet friends, or read a book. So that's in a nutshell. Let me know if it works for you, and I'll see you next time. So meanwhile, stay happy and well.